wanna see my cars on flatbed. Hey, this is a recession, selling that crack dead. Niggas selling super sour bionic glue, and got Superman powers when I'm stressed new. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. Yeah. John Dillinger shit. Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga from the project. Yeah. John Dillinger shit. Niggas in the hood wanna see my cars on flatbed. Hey, this a recession, selling that crack dead. Niggas selling super sour bionic glue, and got Superman powers when I'm stressed new. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects, and Hollywood ain't accepting no nigga. from the project. Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects in Hollywood accepting no nigga from the project. Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects in Hollywood accepting no nigga from the project. Yeah. Y'all diligent shit. Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects in Hollywood accepting no nigga from the project. Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects in Hollywood accepting no nigga from the project. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all diligent shit. Niggas in the home wanna see my cars on flatbed. Hey, this is a recession. Selling that crack dead. Niggas selling super sour and bionic glue. And got Superman powers when I'm stressed too. New Corvette looking like a transformer. No seatbelt screaming on my damn lawyer. Damn, I'm knee deep in the projects in Hollywood accepting no niggas.
Grand Risings. Thank y'all for tuning in to Front Line Blacc News in conjunction with the Arena Uncensored. I'm your host, Chan Krummer. Should be joined here shortly with my other host, Lady Che. And we're continuing up with our season 3, episode 24. Now we're on part 3 because we got topics we didn't get to on part 2 and part 1 of the Frontline Blacc News. So for those that don't know, Frontline Blacc News is based out of Denver, Colorado, out of the Mile High income city. And we touch on political topics both here in Denver, Colorado, and nationwide. So on this show, on this part 3, we were discussing the newly elected mayor of Denver, Colorado, Mike Johnston's 2024 proposed budget hearings. They have begun. How much of the $1.47 billion budget will address homelessness and housing? And then we got our Unhoused Neighbor News and our Unhoused Neighbor Sweeps. So we're streaming on multiple platforms. The Arena Uncensored, MD's channel, MD 2020's channel, and Blacks and Politics, Brother Ron's channel, I believe. And then we're streaming on Frontline Blacc News, YouTube, Facebook, and my personal page, Paris LaShawn, on Facebook as well. So it's my first time doing the simulcasting, so bear with me, Black family. Yeah, I'm going to start sharing my screen. I don't know how I'm going to do that on both screens. Let me see how I can do this. I'm going to have to do an entire screen on both screens. I don't think so. I'm going to do that like that. Because y'all can't see on the Arena Uncensored what I'm showing over here. Let me try to do it. Let me share multiple screens. Okay, I guess it is gonna let me show multiple screens. Great. So this is from one of our media outlets here in Denver, Colorado, called Mile High, CRE. I gotta put the I don't put the copyright up yet. Um, I'm not playing no videos. So Denver Mayor Johnston proposes 1.7 billion for the 2024 budget. So we got I'm gonna read this article to y'all real quick. So we got on September 14th, Mayor Mike Johnston, I see him pictured right there, the white boy, shared his 2024 budget proposal, responding to the community's need for a city that is affordable, safe, sustainable, and vibrant. The mayor's 2024 1.47 billion general fund budget proposal can be found here, and the letter to community can be found here. Interesting. Not to pull those two up. Mayor Johnston has identified 5 priorities: affordability, safe neighborhoods, revitalizing downtown, making Denver more environmentally friendly, and housing for everyone. According to Mayor Johnston, downtown Denver faces among the highest commercial vacancy rates of any city in the nation. Reversing this trend will require a coordinated effort to revitalize not only the central business district, but create a central neighborhood district where people of all income levels gather year round. The proposed budget invests 58 million in downtown revitalization. The city will invest in completing the 16th Street Mall with an expanded tree canopy while creating new pedestrian-friendly public spaces in upper downtown, stabilizing local, uniquely Denver businesses on the mall, completing our newly expanded convention center, attracting new businesses along and near our rejuvenated 16th Street, and increasing our investments in a safe downtown. The mayor will also leverage 136 million in federal transit authority funding to help connect city neighborhoods with a fast, reliable, and safe bus rapid transit BRT option along the Colfax Avenue corridor. For those that don't know, Colfax is the longest street in America. It's actually US 40, and it will take you from Southern California all the way to Maryland. Leaders from the city will launch its first effort to convert downtown commercial buildings to residential units in an effort to create a more dynamic, thriving downtown neighborhood with a more sustainable balance of commercial and residential activity. Leaders from across the city praised the mayor's 2024 budget proposal. Here's what they're saying. Courtney Garnett, president and CEO of the Downtown Denver Partnership. Downtown Denver represents the heart and soul of our city, and the meaningful investment in our vibrancy outlined in Mayor Johnston's proposed budget demonstrates tremendous leadership and vision that could not come at a better or more important time. The Downtown Denver Partnership commends the Johnston administration for recognizing the significance of downtown to the broader city, and we look forward to working alongside the mayor, the city, and our community to revitalize downtown Denver for the benefit of all. It's bullshit. Mike Furino, Furino, Fur, 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 Fino, president and CEO of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. As the president of the Colorado Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and a proud Denver resident for over 20 years, I'm thrilled to see Mayor Johnston at the helm of Denver's 2024 budget. He's driving it toward the vision and commitments he's made to us. Over the years, I've known him for his thoughtful and innovative approach to addressing big problems. I eagerly anticipate seeing every corner of our community thrive under his leadership, and the 2024 budget is a promising start. Richard A. Schacht, Visit Denver President and CEO. The mayor's budget is a testament to our city's commitment to creating a vibrant, affordable, and safe Denver for everyone. As a member of the AAPI community, I think that's Asian Pacific Islander community, in the Little Saigon district, and owning my own family small business, I am particularly excited about the positive impact this budget will have on our current, on our small businesses in our neighborhood. It offers critical support to the AAPI businesses, helping them grow and thrive, and it contributes to a cleaner and safer community. It is not just numbers, it's a promise to make our community flourish. This budget is a step towards cleaner and safer community. It is not just numbers, it's a promise to make our community flourish. This budget is a step toward fostering a prosperous Asian district and supporting Asians across the city. I am optimistic about the opportunities this will bring to our community. Together, we're building a legacy for the Denver's Asian district, and I can't wait to join hands with the mayor to make it happen. So, as you can clearly see, no mention of the Black community, no mention of unhoused neighbors, any of that stuff. But I'm gonna play this video. I guess it's about his budget announcement. Probably have to put the copyright up. Do you have the copyright up? Please tell me you have the copyright up. Fair use. Better than this election. Okay, hold on. Let me get the whole thing. Sorry, bear with me, y'all. That's the viewers. Let's do this beforehand. So I'm like streaming on two different Spotify, so streaming or excuse me. Mm-hmm. And I gotta put it up on this side for y'all. I think I'll put it on further. Okay. Let's see what now. There we go. All right, so back to this article. Where's the video? Where's the video? So this is the press conference that he had in regards to it. It's about 30 minutes long.
Welcome. Thank you all so much for being here. We are delighted to join you to announce our 2024 budget. And so I want to walk you through some of the priorities you'll hear. I think what you will see today is a budget dedicated to an affordable Denver, and a Denver that's going to provide housing for all. So excited to walk you through a little bit of the priorities that we've laid out across each of these categories. A huge thank you as we get started to the team from finance who has helped be my guides through all of this, and all the departments that have helped us both understand and prioritize the key initiatives you'll see today. So this is a full team effort. You'll see the overview of the budget. I talked through these 5 priorities. We'll talk through affordable Denver, safe Denver, vibrant Denver, greener Denver, and housing for all. The total budget is $1.74 general fund budget for this year. Go to our next slide. Want to start by talking more than 50% of Denverites could not afford to live in the city and county of Denver. That means they are right now paying more than 30% of what they make in their income towards rent. We know if you're paying more than 30% of what you make to rent, that means you can't pay the rest of the bills you got sitting on your kitchen counter. And so one of our top priorities is helping make sure that this city is affordable for everybody who works in this city, who serves the city, and wants to continue to live in this city. That's why one of our top areas of focus will be on building, preserving, acquiring permanently affordable housing units. Our goal will be to try to acquire 3,000 permanently affordable units next year. We have up to $100 million set aside to do that. That allows teachers, nurses, retail workers across the city to make sure they can get access to housing where they do not pay more than 30% of their income to rent. We know in addition to acquiring those units, we also have to expedite the process by which we approve and permit in this city to make sure that we can get affordable units up more quickly, and then we can get all units permitted and through the system more efficiently. So we're doing 2 things here. First is we will launch the process to make sure we can deliver a timeline to do 90-day permit approval for our affordable housing projects, and to work on improving our permitting process across all applicants. But that will particularly help us in our eligibility for Proposition 123 state dollars, which we're committed to. In addition, we'll also add more members to our AHARD, which is our Affordable Housing Review Team, which will help accelerate the timeline from permit receipt to actually occupancies. We want to both increase the rate at which we permit, increase the rate at which people actually get through those permits and into units. And so you will see both of these as top priorities around affordability. I want to talk next about a safe Denver. We know right now the residents of Denver have been feeling this. They've been talking to us about it. 2022 represented a historic high in crime across the city. It's some of the highest rates of crime we've seen in almost 20 years, both from violent crime, from property crimes, from homicide, and we plan to turn that around. And so we are excited today to announce some incredibly important investments in this space. The first is we are announcing today that we will begin by rebuilding Denver's police force. We know this has been a major crisis. We don't have enough officers to do the work, respond to the calls that residents have. We will this year commit to 3 cadet academies that will help us add 167 new officers back to our police force. That is also the largest number of new officers we brought on in nearly 20 years in the city, which we think will both help make sure we have the resources we need and help make sure we're deploying officers to the places where they can be their highest and best use. To that end, we're also focused on expanding our non-criminal co-responder programs. What we want is to have the right first responder responding to the right incident at the right time. And so that also means for us expanding our co-responder programs like STAR. We'll take up to 16 teams and up to 8 vans, which we think will be significant expansion. We'll move towards 24-hour-a-day service starting in 2025. And we will also be able to, I think, as I mentioned, fund the co-responder program as well. We're also excited to double the size of our Wellness Winnie program. We're adding a second Wellness Winnie van, which, as people may know, is a mobile mental health and physical health delivery vehicle that we have that can go to folks that are on site, whether they're unhoused, whether they need support where they're living. This mobile capacity to respond to what might be mental health or physical health needs both gets people the services they need and preserves the use and time of our officers to respond to those incidents that involve our most serious risks. We're also expanding our commitment to treatment alternatives. That means making available both treatment and work options earlier in the process. For those either who are incarcerated, that means getting them connected to treatment earlier and getting them back into the community earlier. We know right now without high quality community corrections beds, folks stay in prison or in jail longer than they need to. Community corrections allows them to get back into the community, back to work, back connected to family, Excited to be partnering both with nonprofits and the city together, who will be opening 90 beds that we'll be able to use to get folks out of corrections back into the community to get to work. Also excited to expand and support our Behavioral Health Solutions Center, which provides critical services for folks who may be in different versions of mental health crisis, so that they can get treatment and services and support and inpatient support without needing to get involved into correctional services in the first place. So excited about this as a comprehensive approach to how we provide a safer Denver. Next slide. We also know we want to build a vibrant Denver, and we know that a vibrant city starts with a vibrant downtown. And that is why this budget makes a strong $58 million commitment to invest in downtown, making it a place where Denverites will love to live, to work, and to play. So let me say a few things about each of those. We know right now here we are facing an uphill climb. Right now, Denver has one of the highest commercial vacancy rates of any city in America at around 27%. That also is a trend we need to turn around. That means making downtown Denver a great place to work. For us, that means starting by stabilizing support for downtown businesses. It means attracting new businesses to a revitalized downtown, and it means completing our historic effort on the revitalization of the convention center, which will come online in 2024. In terms of making downtown an attractive place to live, we want to convert downtown Denver from being a centralized business district to being a centralized neighborhood district, a place people like to live and spend all their time working and playing and living together. We will start our first effort to convert commercial office space into residential units this year and work on a path to accelerate additional conversion of commercial spaces in the time to come. We will also, in terms of making Denver a great place to play downtown, we will complete the 16th Street Mall. We'll invest in that investment in 2024, so that will be online and completed in 2025. We'll reactivate Upper Downtown with some new pedestrian spaces that allow for more places for people to gather and enjoy Upper Downtown in the same way we have spaces like the outdoor market at Larimer right now in the Lower Downtown area. And we'll make it easier to get downtown to play by launching our efforts on bus rapid transit on Colfax. That will include a $14 million investment from the city that will leverage $136 million of federal support. So all those combined, we think, to helping get a downtown Denver where everyone wants to live, work, and play. And we know that the recovery of downtown starts in downtown Denver, but it doesn't end there. We know actually for us to have a thriving economy, we need to have a vibrant economy in all of our neighborhoods. That's why we're focusing also on supporting legacy businesses in all parts of the city. Those are small and existing businesses who may have struggled through the pandemic or trying to get their feet back under them. We want to provide key support for those neighborhood efforts, as well as streamlining the process for small business owners to both launch and grow small businesses. Next one is I want to talk a little about a greener Denver. We know right now that 45% of our carbon emissions come from vehicles, and we need to take aggressive steps to reduce that. So what you'll see here is an aggressive commitment by the city to move towards greening vehicles all across the city. That's two parts. First, we'll make a significant investment into building out charging infrastructure so that all Denverites can get easier access to charge electric vehicles, inspire them to convert to electric vehicles, and allow us to build out the infrastructure we will need to convert more of our city fleet to be electric vehicles. You will see some key investments from us to both expand our investments in our own $2 million of city vehicles. We'll also partner with our Green Fleet Task Force to identify the pipeline of other vehicles that we can make electric that may be harder to identify right now. Supply chains for vehicles that meet our service needs, like snowplows, like trash trucks, like more of the vehicles that are more difficult to find in the electric space. We want this to be an infrastructure building, both on charging infrastructure and on supply chains and vehicle classes we can use to help convert our fleet, make it easier for all Denverites to be able to access and use electric vehicles across the city. We're also expanding mobility options. So you'll see here a $15 million investment in expanding bike lanes, safe routes to school, pedestrian crossings, implementation of the Denver Moves plan, as well as expanding and continuing our wildly popular e-bike program and our micro transit programs, which are connectors that we have in communities like Montbello and Globeville area, Swansea, which helps people get around the neighborhood in places that don't have as well traveled
like the city will only get this stuff.
We will also continue to both focus on public transit for our own employees by continuing our offering of eco passes to all city employees to get to and from work in downtown. And we'll do that to open a partnership with other businesses around the city to try to encourage them and give them opportunities to also make those eco passes available to their employees. So we can both make commuting to downtown climate friendly, make it traffic friendly, and make it a helpful tool in making sure that we revive the activation of downtown Denver. So that's part of our Greener Denver strategy. Finally, we will remain committed to our plan to get access to housing for all. And so that means we talked this week about the 2023 budget. We know that the needs around folks that are unhoused will not end at the end of 2023. We're preparing in 2024 to commit to a plan to house another 1,000 individuals. We've laid out a $39 million budget to prepare to onboard those people into housing and services so that we can endeavor to fill that entire gap.
These sites don't even exist.
We know we're at the point in time count as of last January. But in addition to helping support folks that are homeless, we want to critically make sure we invest upstream in preventing people from becoming homeless in the first place. We know right now it costs the city and the taxpayers far less to keep someone in a house than it does to try to get
thanks to the
services
study
once they
that
have
my
lost that house.
my former
So
organization, Denver Homelessness Out Loud,
almost a 300% expansion of the city's investment into TRUA, which is a rental and utility assistance program. So people that are in their homes and are at risk of losing it can stay in those homes. We'll also invest in eviction defense protection so that people who are at risk of getting evicted, we can help them negotiate terms with landlords to stay in their homes and make sure they can keep themselves housed and anticipate them not having to end up being homeless and requiring the services or support the city is allocating right now to get people back up into housing. So for us, this is an overall view of a Denver that we believe we can build together. We think that the most significant mistake we can make when we look at hard problems is believing that those hard problems are unsolvable. We actually know these problems are solvable. We believe we have the team and the resources.
No, you don't. You don't have the team.
Solving them.
The team is trash.
Lays out as our
you don't have me and Lady Chair on your team. Your team is trash.
Deliver that dream of Denver that is a city that is vibrant, that is affordable, that is safe, and that provides housing.
You just stole all my talking points while I was running for mayor.
The city and the partnership with the taxpayers, we're delighted to launch this proposal for 2024. So with that, I will stop and I will give it over to Margaret Tannhauser, who will walk you through a little bit of the 2024 budget outlook. I'm happy to come back and answer some questions after that when Margaret's ready. Your show, Margaret.
Thank you, Mayor. Margaret Tannhauser, Chief Financial Officer, and want to echo the Mayor's thanks for the teams that have made this day possible. It's been a long road. We started this process in April, so shout out to the budget team, to the CPP team, to our communications team and admin team, and all of the finance equivalents within our partner agencies. Thank you very much. 2024 general fund revenue growth is projected to be 4% in 2024, and the general fund is our main operating fund and also 33% of our overall budget. You can see by the chart that we had robust post-pandemic recovery revenues coming out of a very low level. And we're seeing things moderate a little bit as would be expected as we have more moderate year-over-year growth. While 2024 is projected to continue to grow, it will be at that more normal rate of growth. In 2024, our general fund revenue is projected to be just over $1.7 billion. And this is a natural growth rate that we expect to be able to sustain going forward. Some drivers for general fund revenue continue to be taxes, namely sales and use tax, as well as our property tax. Some positive factors that are continuing for our outlook for 2024 include a stable unemployment rate, as well as job market locally. We're seeing continued lessening in supply chain constraints that were caused during the pandemic. Also, the increase in Federal Reserve hikes are starting to have an impact to bring inflation rates down a little bit, but we're also seeing, as a result, some growth in real wages, which help our local consumers. As in 2023, higher inflation and interest rates are likely to put some limits on our growth, as it just costs more to do things. And we're feeling it as a city, just as our residents are too. It's harder to refinance your mortgage, it's harder to borrow, and spending activity can be impacted as a result. You can see the charts on the slide with those inflation rates as well as interest rates here. The July Denver MSA, that's Metropolitan Statistical Area, growth rate was 4.7%. That was the headline growth rate. If you take out food and energy, 5.8%, so still very high. We saw some contributors that housing is still a contributor to that overall inflation. But the biggest factor is fuel and utilities. Conversely, higher interest rates that we've seen have also benefited the city. We have a $7 billion investment portfolio that's invested in primarily fixed income, and we've been the beneficiary of higher interest rates that we've seen our investment income increase almost fourfold from where we were earning a year ago. So diving into sales and property tax revenue a little bit more, sales use is approximately 57% of our revenues, while property taxes are only about 11% for Denver. Sales and use tax is projected to grow 4.1% in 2024, which is a lower annual increase that we've seen coming out of the pandemic, but still a very healthy rate. Property tax at 11% of our overall revenues is expected to grow just over 7% in 2024. And it's worth a reminder that property taxes in Denver, only a third, just less than a third of property taxes actually come to the city and county of Denver. Denver Public Schools makes up about 2/3 of property taxes, whereas the urban drainage is about 1%. So the general fund budget for 2024 is projected to be $1.74 billion. This is a 3.7% increase in expenditures over the revised 2023 budget. Expenditure drivers include personnel costs. That's about 70% of our overall budget. And just like many businesses across our city, the city is experiencing wage inflation as well as minimum wage increases that will come on January 1st. We also are paying more for the goods and services that the city has to buy. And we have some new investments for 2024 that reflect Mayor Johnston's priorities. I think it's important to
reflect my priorities because he still this whole shit for me.
Budget. We talked a lot about the general fund today, but we have several voter approved and other special revenue funds to talk about. These funds are becoming more and more an important part of how we fund our initiatives. So there's a list here that includes both sales tax measures that were approved by voters,
as well as a lot more money in the affordable housing fund. These bullshit.
Are
much money as they get the damn police.
That they're earned, but they, in comparison to the general fund, whatever is not spent is able to carry over to the next year. So with projected revenue growth rates in these special revenue funds between 3 and 16%, we have an average of approximately 6.2% growth in 2024 across all those funds. And the Denver Library Fund that was approved by voters in 2022 represents the largest increase in growth for 2024. Moving on to 2024 projected capital improvement funding. This slide shows a pie chart of all the sources and where we expect to spend them in 2024. Our total capital budget for 2024 is over $1 billion, $521 million, which includes our bond funding approved by voters and other initiatives.
And all that money goes to the
capital
police.
Budget includes over $100 million for mobility projects. The mayor talked about some of those earlier. Also $57 million for parks, trails, and open space, which includes $37 million funded by the voter authorized Parks Legacy Fund. The capital budget will also fund basic water quality basins, new playgrounds, outdoor rec buildings, trails and walks and parks around the city. The American Rescue Plan Act, also known as ARPA, this is a federal program. The city was awarded $308 million in 2021. It came to us in two equal halves in 2021 and 2022. Most of our ARPA funding has been used for recovery programs. Of the $308 million that was awarded to the city, we have about $76 million that is left, and we have to have that all under contract by the end of 2024 and spent by the end of 2026. Many of the programs with funds remaining include programs that started late last year because they were part of the 2023 budget process, and they include after-school and summer programs for kids and families, mobile, physical, and mental health programs, and a continuation of our very successful Digital Navigator program. And then we wouldn't be the Department of Finance without talking about reserves. Heading into 2024, we continue to maintain strong reserves. We've put about 15% away or held in reserves for emergency economic challenges. This is a vital financial safeguard that we actually, in recent memory, had to draw upon during the pandemic. In addition to those reserves, we have the annual general fund contingency, which for 2024 is budgeted at just over $34 million. And this will help us address any unbudgeted needs that might crop up next year. And finally, CIP, our capital improvement funds, operate similarly. They contain a little bit of contingency to the tune of about $6.4 million to also address some things that come up within the year. That's the extent of my presentation. I'm going to turn it back over to the mayor.
I think we are available to take any questions if you have them. We also have department leaders who are here for follow-up afterwards if people have specific questions, but if there are any general questions for us, happy to take a couple right now. Yes.
Sorry, can't hear what question they're asking. Like the volume all the way up, but it's still hard to hear.
You bet. Obviously, our entire host budget will be dedicated to the whole continuum of both homelessness and housing. As I've mentioned, that's both preventing people from entering homelessness in the first place. That's our focus on rental and utility assistance. Trua, that's about a $12 million fund. All the services to folks that are currently experiencing homelessness, which is getting them off of the streets and into housing. That's the $39 million we laid out for next year, which is to house the next 1,000 individuals. We believe, we know the work will not be done when this first effort is complete. And so that's focused on, our point in time count is around 1,500 right now. And yet we know that there's many new instances of people coming into homelessness even for the first time. And so we expect that need to be higher than just the 1,500. So this puts us on a path to house 2,000 between 2023 and 2024. And provide ongoing support and services to get those people up and out in permanent housing. So that's what you'll see in 23 and 24.
We have over 10,000 people on house.
Yes, Joe.
I'm sorry, I can't hear what questions they're asking.
We are seeing some of the beginnings of the federal cliffs that people have been warning about, which is there was a great opportunity in the last several years for historic investments in housing because of those ARPA funds. We're really excited to be maintaining that commitment even despite a significant drop in federal dollars. We've backed up deeper investment in city dollars. Stephanie, I don't know if you are going to talk about sources on those, but you're right, Joe, and that despite a drop of federal funds, we've worked to maintain that commitment even though those cliffs will be coming.
Hi everyone, Stephanie Corrales-Adams, I'm the city's budget management director. And Joe, you'll see in the budget book that we actually identified all the sources of funds. We have talked a lot about how important host is, and so we have a really diverse set of funding sources. So the general fund contributes to it. We developed an affordable housing fund, and of course the homelessness resolution fund, which voters supported moving forward. And of course there are things like CDBG and home. So the federal government also contributes. So all the sources of funds are actually listed in the budget book, but essentially some of the same sources, ARPA as well, is in there, and I think it's a little over 70 as well for 2024.
Yes, ma'am.
This was this past week or last week on the 14th. No, this is at the budget hearing. Budget hearing last
Great
Thursday.
question. So two parts of it. One is one of the things we find is one of the best ways to keep public transit safe is to activate public transit. The more people we have on it, the safer people often feel. It is the most risky when it is the least well traveled. And so this is a very deliberate attempt by us doing things like expanding the eco pass to all of our 13,000 employees, which gives them free access to public transit to come to and from work. We want to be able to encourage more and more businesses to do the same, which is to encourage people to use and activate public transit, buses and light rails. So they are more occupied. Obviously, RTD has their own security that we do not directly patrol those public transit lines. We will be in conversation with them about what the intersection of our security needs are. How do we make sure they're keeping public transit safe while we're keeping the streets of the city safe? Because we know that's a big deterrent for folks to ride public transit if they don't feel safe. So I think that's the first threshold we have to meet is making sure those rides are safe. I think the more people we put on them, the more active those lines are, the safer they become.
Yeah, when you got illegal immigrants stabbing people to death on them.
A great question. We have allocated a budget for 2024 on our migrant population where we've right now set aside $20 million as our investment for 2024. As I think you know, we've started in our.
Are you going to come out, ladies? Because I can't hear you all the way over there.
To our migrants and our newcomers, and we've restructured that. We've gone away from the one large sole source contract that was proposed earlier, and we've gone towards a set of smaller contracts that allow more local nonprofit and community organizations to participate in those supports. We think those are going to be closer to the ground, more connected to the community. More efficient and more effective in those services. So we never know exactly what the inflow is going to be month by month, but we've started with that commitment. We know we'll adjust as we see what happens over the next 3 to 6 months.
Yes, Black Sun.
Yes, it definitely was my first rodeo. I had a lot to learn very quickly. I mean, I think for us, one of the things I learned was how many really wonderful efforts the city has going in various places that people may not know about, places where we're piloting or exploring ideas that we think can really scale to success. And this was a chance for us to look at how we coordinate and combine some of those efforts and put them against some of our toughest problems. And so I think we have a lot of places across the city where we're focused on safety. How do we concentrate those in our highest yield investments around both making sure we can restaff the officers we need, we can focus on alternatives and interventions to people that need someone and then a law enforcement officer, and we can get folks out of corrections faster and into the community and into services faster. Same was true with our agenda on climate. You will see innovative ideas in all the different departments on ways that we can help create. We're trying to help coordinate those efforts and align them and call the citizens to be a part of what we think is a bigger vision to deliver Denver that's going to be vibrant and affordable. Thank you all so much for being here. I felt like my first school picture day, but I feel like I survived. And so thanks for your time. Thanks so much to the team and all the folks in finance and the budget office who did all the great work. We're so grateful for all that you've done.
You're not welcome. You keeping bastard. All right. Come on, Lady Sherry. Yeah, so there you have it. There's the budget. There's going to be several hearings coming up. I'm trying to pull up the list of when the hearings are. So one of these articles I got. But yeah, we'll keep y'all updated on the budget. Hopefully me and Lady Chair have the opportunity to speak at one of these hearings before they bring it to the full council. And then the council is going to vote on it. If they're going to approve the budget or not. It's more than likely they are. And the amount that they keep giving the police is just ridiculous. They said that we can do better 4 years ago. They said that Initiative 300 wasn't the answer. That's a bill that my organization, Denver Homicide Loud, worked on in 2019. This is going to basically repeal the urban camping ban that's been in effect since 2012. For those that don't know, here in the city and county of Denver, it's illegal to cover yourself with anything besides your own clothing. You can be arrested, ticketed, or harassed for covering yourself with a tent, a tarp, a sleeping bag, anything besides your own clothing is deemed illegal here in the city and county of Denver. So they raised a whole campaign against us called "We Can Do Better," and they spent $2.5 million lying to Denver voters in 2019, convincing them that Initiative 300 wasn't the answer and that we can do better. Well, it's been 4 years and we're not doing better, Denver. We're doing worse. And I ran for mayor of the Mile High Income City along with this fellow and 20 other people. And they raised $15 million against me to stomp out the Black First agenda that I was promoting and the Housing First agenda that I was promoting. And both me and Lady Che drafted legislation policy, and it ended up in their hands via Black hands, coon hands, and they ran with it. One of them actually had the audacity to make a commercial. So they all stole Team Paris's ideas and talking points and platform and policy, and they selected the white boy to be the mayor, opposed to myself and several other so-called people of color, as I love to say, that were running. But I was the only candidate that was running on a Black First agenda, and they had to stomp that out as much as possible. So they made it nearly impossible for me to get on the ballot, and they had me curing for over a week. And then at the last minute, they said I didn't make the ballot. But then they said my nemesis, who they initially said didn't make the ballot, they said that he made the ballot. He's running around with this fake ass documentary called The Holly that's on all these platforms. Unfortunately, the lies must just continue with that mug. So if you see that shit on Netflix or whatever, just know it's a fucking lie. It's all a lie. I'm still waiting on Lady Che. Yeah, unfortunately. Don't remind me. So Lady Che will be here out here shortly to give us her thoughts on Mike Johnston's 2024 proposed budget. In the meantime, I'm gonna try to pull up a list of when these town hall meetings are gonna be for the budget. You'll probably be able to find it on his personal Facebook page. Let's see. We're in the budget. There's the full budget here. Okay, we have a list of when the hearings are. Just having a meeting on the 28th. We had a town hall. I'm at a town hall next week on the 26th for District 2 and District 7. I'm in District 8. The one in District 7, that's Floor's district. That's going to be on in Southwest Denver. Yeah, it's right off Federal and I live. Not together, no. It's over by this is either College View. This College View Rec Center. No, we haven't. I've been there before, but no, you haven't been there. The last time I went there was for the mayor's cabinet in the community under Hancock, our former mayor. I'm trying to see if there's a list of the budget hearings. I don't know if he's posted anything yet. City budget. The mayor's city budget. Let's see. It's a town hall, so they're gonna be talking about everything. Yeah, yeah. It's not in our district. It has to be in District 8. Oh, he's making his rounds. He said he was going to visit all 78 neighborhoods his first 6 months in office. He's yet to have a town hall in the Black community. Yeah. Oh man, I have to add this to the description. Yeah. They can't hear you. You gotta come out. Like, can't nobody hear you except me. Yeah, I'm talking to Lady Che in the background now. I'm trying to see if I can get a list of when the hell they're having these where they're having these town halls. It's this week in person. That was last week. Budget hearing, broadcast each hearing. Okay, but that doesn't help me. Looks like they had one yesterday with the Department of Safety, the Sheriff's Department, the Police Department, the Fire Department, and the Department of Development and Opportunities. Okay, here we go. I think this is it right here. Resident timeline, hearing schedule. Okay, here we go. I got the dates now. I'm gonna share this for y'all so y'all can see it. Shout out whoever's viewing on Front Line Blacc News Facebook page. Share my screen. Both ends. Okay. Now you can see what I see. Where is it? Here we go. All right, so here's the schedule for this month. So, budget hearing schedule with links to presentations and recorded videos. These hearings are an excellent way to learn how your tax dollars are allocated and spent by key agencies throughout the city. All budget hearings will be televised live on Comcast Channel 8 and live streamed on Denver8.tv. If you cannot catch it live, you can watch it later using the links below to recorded videos. So they have one on the 18th, which is this past Monday, at the City and County building. I had another one on Tuesday at the City and County building. Now, one on Wednesday. Wednesday was the one about housing. Department of Housing Stability, Department of Public Health and Environment, Denver Health, and Denver Human Services. And then yesterday they had one for the sheriff and the police department and the safety. And it looks like they had one for the fire department and economic development and opportunity. And on Monday they're going to have one about the airport and one about child affairs, human rights, and community partnerships, and the Office of Economic or Emergency Management. And then they have a dashboard. I don't know what I was trying to pull up. So yeah, that's the budgeting. Let's see what the timeline is. They're gonna have the hearings this month. Then next month they're gonna hold the workshops. And then after receiving the recommendations from council, the viewers, Arena Uncensored viewers, I got kicked out the studio on that end. Okay, so we're still here, and I think comes Lady Che to make her grand appearance. So so far for 2024. Camera. Oh, Trey's eyes open, huh? Here she comes. The eye socket?
No, the actual bone that was holding the eye in place.
Yeah, that's the eye socket.
Yeah. All the stuff was cracked. It broke. It was little.
Yeah.
Which
Okay, here
was
she
ice
is.
No.
Say hi to the people, Lady Cherry.
Oh my God, they can see me.
Yes. Barely.
Okay, take that. Hi, family. My eye was leaking, and that's what took me so long.
Yeah, look in my direction.
My eye was leaking. My eye was leaking very badly. It's still leaking. So, yeah, and I was brushing the shit out of my teeth.
What are your thoughts on the budget, Lady Cherry?
Well, I heard some of it, but I think it was what I read in the newspaper, or when I read a news break, I think was just more disturbing. I think that the more you ask for the police and the more you put money into the police, you're just asking to see more death, more
lawsuits,
more infractions. And just keep in mind, you're only, yeah, they may be human beings, they may be like that, but you're just creating more stressful factors. You're not really putting money into the actual thing that prevents crime, which is poverty. You're not giving them anything. What you're doing now, what the mayor is doing now, is basically bitten off of work. And I just feel like when you have people that don't have any kind of lived experience in certain areas, they really can't tell you where to put this money at. And you just have to think that, sometimes the police put themselves in these positions, to do fuck shit. It's really bad. Not all of it is good,
Now look in my direction, Lady Cherry. They cannot see you.
I don't want to be seen. I'm not trying to be seen. My eye's leaking, Jesse. Really bad. Really bad. And he promised me a nap, man.
I did not promise her a nap. It's a damn lie.
He's like, "You take a nap," and I was like, "All right."
That was like 3 hours ago.
Mad shit. Then we were doing a show right now today, so like about 45 minutes ago. Yeah.
I saw our second show today.
What?
The Shabaka's experience.
Oh yeah. And so I'm like kind of just chilling, man, just chilling. And then he put me on camera. It's like the limits of betrayal are just.
How is it limits of betrayal?
Anyway, what's next?
Unhoused Neighbor News and Unhoused Neighbor Suites.
Yeah, get to that. I think that I can't wait till we speak on the budget, where like public people could go in there. I think it's shit, but also too, it's like I don't live here, but I do travel around here. It seems like crap. But the people are unhappy about. I don't know. It seems to be kind of like what do you call it? Distracted from other things.
Call it buyer's remorse.
Oh yeah, no, they're gonna get that. Too late now, though. You gotta reap what you sow.
Yeah.
We sleep okay at night.
Yeah, because we have integrity.
And know that too. That like what happened was it was like an old white boy swooping. You know what I mean? And when
at the last minute, y'all.
When people put panders
Let me
and
show y'all the article that came out
panders and what do you call it? Tokenizers.
over a year ago. Look who's at the top.
Yes, it just gets, it's more of a conspiracy. Not conspiracy, but
Johnson ain't even on here.
there's something, right? It's something. And the motherfuckers who didn't want to run end up running.
Mm-hmm.
There's an obvious motive because they're like, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, like Lisa.
I can't do it, no. So I would never, and then here they are.
I'm gonna check them up again.
You know what I mean? Here they are. So I just think it's all a fucking game. Big fucking game. And then when I seen it in my own shit, I definitely saw that a couple of things, if you're not gonna tow their cart for them, tow the line, that they're not interested. A motherfucker, a person like us can't really. We can make all the little.
Bloomberg sent this motherfucker $6 million.
Oh my god. All this shit, but at the end of the day, the consensus is they'll be able to say whatever if they really want to disqualify you. You know what I mean? They'll find a way to disqualify you.
Well, if I'm white and I say so.
Yeah, and that's pretty much how it happened with me. I did have certain rights, and when they say no, even and I say I have certain rights, that's because I read it in their shit. In their words, in their statutes, and their rules,
their bylaws, their charters,
their shit, their handbooks. I had certain I could have had certain contributing benefits for this. I could have went through some loopholes, right? Because it's for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Except for me.
So it benefits everybody.
Except for me.
That Kamala Harris shit.
It was supposed to benefit motherfuckers running for political position, right? But I know for a fact that it's because of, not just because of what I'm talking about. I think it's mostly because of how hard I go, and the fact that I'll double down before I apologize. In person, you may get an apology from me. You didn't necessarily have to wonder. You have to really wonder if you know me, if it's a real thing. I might just be saying it just so that the argument might stop, because it's obviously going nowhere, and I got bored. But you're hot under the collar. Whatever I gotta say to make that end. Yeah, sure. But other people, especially white people, nah, that can go on all day. That can go on for weeks, arguing with them and talking shit and arguing, pointing out the facts and arguing, and that can literally go for weeks. But like at home, or little tiny shit that's might be big for you, but it's small potatoes for me. I got bored. You know what I mean? But you don't know me well. You wouldn't know that I was bored, and I just wanted you to be quiet. I just wanted to end the conversation. I just didn't know how to do it, so I just felt like this is the best way. Either way you do it might just be the wrong way according to that person. You know what I mean? So it's all about, I guess it's all about what everybody wants, except for you.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, you don't worry about what you want. Just appease. Placate. And that's something that I think I'll struggle with for the rest of my life. Appeasing and placating. What?
Get closer, they can't see you.
I don't want to be seen, Jesse. And plus, I need chips.
All right, so
snacks.
over here.
You just want me to get over there, dude. I'm trying to hide out.
You can see you, but you're like in the corner of the screen.
Yeah, maybe my darkness hide me.
All right, so in latest Unhoused neighbor news, Mike Johnston's administration extends the homeless emergency declaration. Again, it's the second time.
Oh my god.
So
See, family?
the first one
I
ran
always said
from when he declared the emergency, which was the end of July 2023, ended September 18th, 2023.
it. I told him, and yeah, we told this time I forgot about it this month. The last month I was like, nah, let him ride on that. He said this, let him do it. But no, I was an asshole there. I was an asshole and a villain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I was like, nah, you should extend this home unhoused state of emergency. Hell no, do what you're supposed to do.
Well, he has to extend it because he has nowhere to put our unhoused neighbors. In my term, he has nowhere to put them.
Well, he knows what he knows that ultimately, that's when you should know, Felly, that
Because
it's
these micro
plagiarized.
communities do not currently exist.
Well, none of that, but it's a stolen idea.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ask the creators of that, they'd obviously have an answer.
Right.
We're not going to give you those answers.
Right.
So you keep, fucking doing all that. They'll say, "Oh, it's for the people." What about the people? What about the people? If they cared like we thought they would
It's
have,
for white people.
if they cared like we thought they would have,
Illegal
then
immigrants.
I guess we would be somewhere else than right here. You know what I mean?
Well, they just purchased the best Western up the street. So we're going to talk about that. But this first article is about the extension to the homeless declaration. Shout out to my neighbor, David Heights. You can see there's a brother living out his car, or a sister, I think it's a brother, living out the car with their dog.
I don't think that's a safe idea because
Junker ordinance.
my building is unhoused in the parking lot, and that shit right there is quite dangerous. You know.
Yeah. So, the Denver City Council voted this past Monday, to extend the homeless emergency declaration in the city, but not unanimously. Council members Fleur, Alvarez, and Amanda Sawyer said no. Ooh, they voted no. Alvarez said she does not believe it is fair for her district to have to host 2 of the micro community sites.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
She said her district already hosts safe outdoor spaces.
So
and it's
what?
the site of the new Warren Village apartments.
So what?
And Urban Peak Youth Homeless Shelter.
So what?
She said also all the talk about equity and deciding where to place the micro community sites was just talk. I don't buy it, she said. Concentrating poverty is not the answer.
Ooh, so she gotta shift the poverty around, huh? There's not that much in her district.
She's basically saying her district is doing enough. So they need to find another district to put these in.
Look, man, your district is pretty wide. Like, a lot of big blocks. Honestly, who does this shit? Like, if this is the main thing, one of the main things, you would think that as the mayor, you would already have some plans lining up. Like, not lined up because you never know who's going to win, right? But you would have some ideas of what shit would look like.
He stole our ideas.
Yeah, because there's a lot of ideas that, I see in commercials now, or these little ads or whatever on watching Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And
I gotta finish reading the article.
They upset me,
Yes.
So
Mayor Mike.
If I get on this side, because there's no
coming back.
There's no coming back.
Mike Johnston I just want you to be closer so that people can see you.
I don't care. They know what I look like.
Mayor Mike Johnston wants to place 11 micro community sites across the city. Each micro community would consist of 50 to 100, mostly one-person pallet shelters, as well as modular spaces for restrooms, showers, laundry rooms, meeting rooms for mental health and addiction wraparound services. Cole Chandler, the mayor's homelessness czar, repeatedly said that 7 of 11 sites proposed for micro communities have higher than average Denver incomes. Ooh. So we got a lot of NIMBYism going on, not in my backyard.
On
Sawyer,
the whites and the Hispanics.
mm-hmm. Sawyer concerned about contracts and supervisor time. Councilwoman Amanda Sawyer, who gave him pushback on the first declaration, said that she does not believe the city should be setting aside its procurement process. As part of an emergency declaration, cities can skip putting contracts out to bid to expedite procurement of goods and services. Sawyer also said the emergency declaration means department heads are in meetings with the emergency operations system for about half the day. This is taking them away from other important projects in the city, she said. Watson, or as we call him, Gay and Black, council member Daryl Watson. Watson advocates for criminal justice. Council member Daryl Watson, who represents District 9, said the encampments have caused grave problems for business owners. He said the historic LGBT bar, the bar of the triangle, may have to close before encampments are expected to be decommissioned by the end of the year. Watson said ending homelessness requires a full spectrum approach, which includes criminal justice. Chandler said the city is looking into creating a program that would offer support to businesses affected by encampments. He said the American Rescue Action Plan money may be available for such a project. May. It's no guarantee though. Other council members said the need to do something about the homeless problem is urgent. Chris Hines, who represents Capitol Hill, pointed out that the Golden Triangle also includes 2 proposed micro-community sites. Councilwoman goes to bat for working homeless. Councilmember Stacey Gilmore spoke on behalf of working homeless Monday. Wow. She noted there is an entire segment of homeless people who work every day. Yes, we proved that because we did a whole study back in 2018, 2019, said, and in 2020, that said that 70% of our unhoused neighbors, my term, because they're unhoused, still part of the community, or my phrase, rather, work. So no, they're not standing around with a goddamn sign panhandling. Some are, but the vast majority are not doing that. They actually work actual jobs, actual 9-to-5 jobs, and they just can't afford to live here. They're not drug addicts. They're not all drug addicts. They're not all mentally ill. You just can't afford to live here. It's the mile high income city, as Jeff Fart always says. So, and then, so they work every day and then return to the Congress shelter at night. Many of them have been doing this for many years. She noted it is not fair to fast-track encampment dwellers into a pallet shelter or a motel room when these working homeless have waited many years for housing. Good point, Stacey Gilmore. But they want out of sight, out of mind. Don't want to see this. Chandler said, everyone has a fair shot at the multiple pathways to housing. It's a goddamn lie. He said there have been no cutting in line. Yeah, right. Yeah, if you're white, you're prioritized before anybody else. And if you're a legal immigrant, you take priority over the white unhoused people. They getting housed in a month, and they're not even citizens. Gilmore also told Chandler the mayor's office should consider providing restrooms and sharps containers to all of the city's encampments. She said the city is knowingly allowing encampment feces to run into the Platte River. Ugh. Hypodermic needles litter the city because not enough sharps containers are available, Gilmore said. Okay, well, what are your thoughts on this? What do you say? What do you say?
When I think about what they said,
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's a lot. I think it's a lot. I mean, I really don't think anything's gonna happen from it. It's like this is like your fancy talk to show that you're still about to be here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't know if in window see anybody. I know that me and you get lost. We don't know where you are, so we don't know if he can hear us.
I can't hear you because you got to speak up.
What's the last thing I said? Forgot what the last thing I said was. Literally forgot what
You said something about he's basically pandering.
Oh yeah, Mike Johnston. Yeah, Mike Johnston pandered to the black community. He pandered to the black community,
Mm-hmm.
and when he's not pandering to the black community, that's when all these townhomes pop up in other areas.
Mm-hmm.
Then when you get there, they won't be talking about the same shit they're talking about in Park Hill, or downtown or whatever. Those people or the rural people have different tangible needs.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's real bad when your sister don't believe in you.
Yeah, right. So that's on what Flora said, Stacy said, and Sawyer said.
What did Flora say?
Flora said not in her district.
Oh yeah, that's because she got to me. I thought that it's big enough to house your district has been redefined, right?
Yeah,
So redistricted. So I thought it was bigger. So I thought you could hold at least a couple more blocks. Like, well, what are you talking about?
She said they're doing enough though. They already have a safe outdoor camp.
It's never enough.
They already have the Warren Village too.
They ain't stopped nowhere else.
And they got Urban Peak, the youth shelter.
That's different. You would look. Check this out. You can ride the laurels of motherfucking shit that you've already, help. That you're already part of. Shelter system, et cetera, was already here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So of course you don't want to add no more, right? But it doesn't really matter to you. It's not important to you. Because if it was, you wouldn't bring up that fucking ridiculous shit. If there's, first of all the space here, you don't know who has what or who owns what. Right? They could just be renting it from God knows who, God knows where. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have to factor those things in when we go in now for like a little rescue. We have to factor in all these little factors. There is a lot of NIMBYism, but they're not going to call it that no more. They would call it something else. Under the premise that
compassionate resistance.
under that thing, like, man, we just want to get some. Can we just sit here? Like, they're probably just no. But I have to deal with it, and they don't. I feel like Georgie probably, my oldest son, is probably on that alignment, that thought alignment. Said that he picked the wrong organ, put it in a video. And he blocked me. I sent him a message, he blocked me right after that. It wasn't even a bad message.
What does this have to do with the extension?
Because I don't think he should do it. Oh. You said what about the redistricting issue? The housing,
No.
she said no. What about it? The fucking extension? Oh,
Yeah.
my bad. Well, fuck no. I was disagreement from the jump. That if he said he was going to do this by this time, he should stay with it. Him needing more time is like, help,
It's just
hold
stalling.
my hands. I don't know what I'm doing.
He needs more time because them town halls aren't working. Them crackers is giving him hell.
They give him a little hell. It's not like they give him the full fucking FBA treatment.
They're giving him pushback.
It's not enough, right?
Enough where he has to extend it.
I wouldn't extend it. Just go bust your ass.
They already extended it though.
Oh, too late then. You got a month to bust your ass after that. You're on your own, pumpkin. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot. Like, how many times is he gonna ask for an extension? That's like me paying my motherfucking
Excel bill.
Excel bill. You know?
I need an extension this month.
I'm just trying to pay you $11. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They'll be like, no, bitch, you agreed to. You've been agreeing to
Our
this.
original agreement was this.
Like, and now 3 years later, you still haven't completed the one thing that you're supposed to do. You just think I'll just accept anything. Fuck no, I'm Excel. Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Oh, you cheap bitch! You only try to give me $11 for the electricity. You got me twisted. I'm Excel. My tears matter.
Yeah, that is the IRS.
Yeah. Oh, you don't want to give me my $100,000 that I've been charging you for 3 years? You just want to slide by and let your brother with all the cakes come in and pay the bills because they go to Walmart and you just want muffin and a juice, and while you're over there, you know, he's over there trying to get through it. It's a raggedy ass bitch. You got to take my $11 payment to Excel. Is looking at him like, damn, you muffins and juice, huh? Don't you think you need to pay your electricity? and I just laughed, and he's thoroughly upset. And so is Excel. I'm like, fuck them, I done paid it. I shouldn't have to. I've been telling them I didn't have a job. But we're like, damn, how does me going to do one favor for you turn into everybody at the store laughing at me? Make it make sense. And it's like, man, that's what happens when you got big cakes and muffins in your hands. They're looking at you to, like, you know, make sure this electricity get paid. You're like, fuck no. I'll live there. You know what I'm saying? Same shit. They're them saying, oh, hold my hand. We can't do it. And there's so much, there's no space, yet there's so much space. There's no available apartment, but yet we got housing coming. Make up your fucking mind. Which one is it?
They still got like 30,000 vacant luxury apartments.
Right. I mean, what happened to those? Oh, we don't know. They're being worked on. That's the fucking universal fucking answer. Being worked on currently as we speak. Oh yeah? I'm sure they are. Any fucking construction site with anybody working there is like right here. See, we're gonna put housing right there. Now, full goddamn well, it's just gonna be a small little office building.
What are your thoughts on Stacey Gilmore acknowledging that there's work in homeless?
That's pretty good. I mean, yeah, watching like 3-4 years of both fucking absolute shame and embarrassment.
What about Sawyer's pushback, Purple Rain?
Fuck her. She doesn't do it. She doesn't really want to. You know what I mean? But she get what she wanted out of anybody else. She would keep the mouse and do away with the tricks. They don't go nowhere. You know?
So she's exhibiting NIMBYism too.
Oh, she's a good one?
No. Sawyer.
Yeah, well, Sawyer's white.
And them crackers and Laurie don't want it.
Nah, they accept some whites. It's like how it is normally. Some fair-skinned us, like myself, might get in the door, get violated, and have to go outside for like 4 hours while they touch your hair.
They don't want the safe outdoor camps. They don't want the micro communities and District 5.
District 5 is Colfax, right?
South of Colfax.
Like, Buckley.
No,
South.
south of Colfax.
South of Colfax. Like, around Colfax in Dallas. Yeah, Colfax in Dallas. How far would it be for me to get the things right?
Yosemite and Colfax.
Yeah. So I gotta start there. Work my way up to
South of Colfax.
go back. I'm looking at an eventful drunk evening by LGBTQ plus. Right?
Not Capitol Hill. East Colfax.
Yeah, but I'm looking at it at the internet like there's something we gotta do, right? I mean, we have to do something. But ultimately, answer your question, I don't think that anybody who lets what's his face, what's her face, sit there and look at his stuff like that, like they don't have really good chemistry.
Are you talking about Boy Bart?
Yeah.
That's not what we're talking about.
I'm talking about, yeah. Jeez, guys, I feel like you're talking to me about other stuff.
No, I'm not. I'm talking to you about the damn extension.
Yeah, I'm over it. I'm done. I moved on.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, I'm tired. I'm sitting
No,
here,
his
like,
hair's all over the place, y'all. I'm sorry.
no, I'm tired. I'm tired, y'all. I swear to God, I'm tired. You have no idea what we're going through at my house. Like, seriously going through it. And I'm sitting here and just rocking back and forth. I'm really tired. And so I think something he's talking to me because I'm like, in my head right now, like, I'm still listening to CeeLo Green. And I thought we were way past the fucking extension part. Fuck him. I don't think he should get it. I don't think he should ask for another one. Like, where's the audit stuff? You know what I mean? And everybody say not in my backyard. Well, that's always what they say. I don't understand what, like, all these vacant things, right?
Yeah.
I say that there's no money yet. There's money. They can't fix nothing, so they gotta get rid of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
This building, the school building is falling apart. It's in disarray. No one can live here yet. People live there. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So no, I don't think that. I think that extension shit is whack. I don't think. I want to know who's in charge of the budget, and then they should be fired immediately.
The mayor's in charge of the budget.
He needs to be fired on the budget. Just give him something
City
else.
council's the ones that give him the budget and he approves it.
Just give him something else to approve. Like, let him approve what waffles they eat for breakfast. Treat him like Biden. At some point, Mayor Johnston is going to be like a young Biden.
Mm-hmm.
He's already heading in that direction.
He's definitely a career politician.
Panderer. And not in a prostitution way, but in a panderer to the black community. Knowledge is just added in for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Stop me whenever, Jesse.
So he's just going to continue to extend. So we can have the micro communities built in 9 districts.
Micro communities is what, in regards to what? SOS camp?
No, these are
Or the
bigger
pallet
than
homes?
the pallet homes.
Not even micro community. It's a whole bunch of outside jails.
Yeah.
That's all it is. With an air conditioner.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gonna be on segregate on fucking PC time over there. And I wouldn't really take it too seriously because sooner or later somebody's gonna come up with some old. So it's obviously gonna be racist shit. It's gonna happen. That's the only thing to get anybody's attention. So it'll be like something like that.
Yeah, another Dwayne Peterson situation.
Oh God, dude, that man had no peace. That's why I brought that up. You know what I mean? And during public coming. I wish you could see that. I brought that up then. Yeah, I wish you could see it. I was watching.
Another article.
Oh. That was video, right?
Yep. So it's not that much to read anyway. Denver set to receive more than $2.5 million to address youth homelessness.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, you gotta put motherfucker in somewhere. Like, I was homeless on the street.
When they kick you out when you're 18.
Yeah. It didn't really, help or anything, but yeah, motherfucker straight outside.
Yeah, so the city of Denver is set to receive more than $2.5 million to address youth homelessness. Denver Mayor Mike Johnston announced the grant alongside Representative Diana DeGette on Wednesday. The funding will come from the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, according to Johnston.
Yeah.
Johnston.
$2.5 million to help with youth. The city of Denver is set to receive more than $2.5 million to help with youth homelessness. Denver Mayor Mike Johnston announced the grant with U.S. Representative Diana DeGette. That funding comes from the Department of Housing and Urban Development. The city of Denver is set to receive more than $2.5 million.
Fucking big flat plastic fucking zero on that. You know what I mean? But as soon as you're not even looking, woo, big old millions swoop in and shit. Like, oh, we got 242 million. What do we want to do with it? Let's spend it on this shit. You know what I mean? Let's pretend to redo a hotel. I'm making like a livable apartment. State of emergency.
Speaking of which, that's the next article. Denver considers $33.5 million to homeless services investments.
More money, same shit. And
they already purchased it, but the Denver City will consider buying the Park Hill Best Western Hotel Monday for $26 million to house people experiencing homelessness. The council also will consider another $7.5 million in contracts for services to support people experiencing homelessness. The hotel is located at 4595 Quebec Street, not far from the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless converted hotel at 3737 Quebec Fusion Studios, right here. The 194 unit Best Western. So this has 139 units. So this other one they just purchased has 194. Oh, Black Sun just went live. How the hell is it going live if I'm streaming on there? Interesting. The Best Western initially will be used as non-congregate shelter, but rather would be converted to permanent supported housing to be rented at affordable prices, according to memo from city staff to council. Denver's Homeless Emergency Operations Center announced Thursday the city plans to sweep an encampment next week near the governor's mansion in Capitol Hill. Officials said displaced campers will be offered housing in a hotel, but they would not release where the hotel is located. Of course, because they're not going to be placed in a hotel. It's a goddamn lie.
Even so, it's just a temporary 1 or 2 day stay. That's it.
For Best Western details, for 3 years, the Salvation Army will provide shelter and support. Oh, so it's not going to be on I thought it was going to be a CCH property. It's going to be under the Salvation Army at the hotel, according to a presentation by the council committee. After that, it will be converted to permanent housing. The non-congregate shelter that will be provided will immediately offer space for Denver residents experiencing homelessness as part of the city's encampment resolution strategy. According to the presentation, most of the units already have kitchenettes, making the space ideal for conversion to supportive housing. There's also a communal kitchen and comfort spaces. Buying hotels, part of city strategy. No, that's part of parish strategy. Buying hotels is part of the city's Department of Housing Stability's approach to ending homelessness. Hosts a 5-year strategic plan approved by City Council identifies strategic acquisition of hotels and other commercial properties for conversion / redevelopment into affordable housing and supportive housing as a critical tool to provide housing stability, resolve issues of homelessness, and create and preserve affordable housing, according to the presentation. The city will use the American Rescue Plan Act money for a bridge loan. The property will be purchased for $25.95 million, using approximately $10 million from the 2018 Denver Housing Authority delivers for Denver D3 bond. According to the presentation, the ARPA funds will make up the difference. Even if the council approves the loan Monday, which they did, the loan will still have to have a vote on the deal a second time for it to become official. So they got to vote on it again. Also, Monday, the council will consider a $6.4 million. This is this past Monday, so this is already happening. A $6.4 million contract to be provided to Carl, the Coalition for the Homeless, through December 31st, 2026, to provide outreach to encampments and connect people to housing. Monday is the first reading of the ordinance. If approved, the council must sign off on it a second time too. A $320,346 contract to the Salvation Army to operate the Connection Center through December 31st, 2024. A $255,442 contract with Denver Rescue Mission through December 31st, 2024 to provide shelter to homeless families. These funds will be used to support literally homeless families in shelter, using trauma-informed care, harm reduction, and housing first strategies to assist these households with obtaining long-term and permanent housing, according to a memo from city staff to the city council. 2 contracts, one for $225,616, and another for $140,291, both through December 31st, 2024, to provide shelter and services to families experiencing homelessness. Services include family meditation, reunification, relocation, transportation assistance, employment assistance or support, and child care. A $140,000 contract to Volunteers of America for supporting people experiencing homelessness who have universal housing vouchers to find housing. A $360,140 contract through December 31st, 2024 to Urban Peak to provide rapid rehousing and support to youth ages 18 to 24, earning at or below 30% of the city's average median income, or $26,070 $26,070. That's it. So what are your thoughts on the 35 million or 33.5 million
That's funny.
in homeless service investments?
It's funny, incredibly difficult to fucking even fathom because we don't get anything going for us. I mean, like, there's nobody in there singing our praises. You know what I mean?
No, because we're already housed. This is for people that are not housed.
You know, but even so, look at the motherfuckers that are in house and the motherfuckers that aren't. You know? I hope she
Anything else?
yeah, that's it.
All right. Okay,
What do you
Denver.
think?
I think they're stealing my ideas from 2019.
Oh, still.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I
I
really
literally
think
said the
anybody-
same thing in 2019.
I really don't think anybody should ever have the reason to even question what the fuck we're talking about. Because I mean, this was like clear, you know what I mean? Like they did it. All this shit happened right in front of our eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's being played out literally right in front of our eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And it shit is like very upsetting.
Yeah.
But one more thing, real quick, since we're talking about it. I read in the news break. Actually, I was watching the news. And they had a whole tree replanting thing going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time I'm thinking, these motherfuckers. I read it, and I'm thinking to myself, how hard did we go to get more trees planted and the hostile infrastructure
Removed.
because there was no shading.
Mm-hmm.
So when people were on the street, they were roasting in their bodies in tents.
Yep.
You know? So like now all this money is here. Help us. Please make it better. What are we going to do? We can't live without him.
Oh.
You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, Lady Shay.
Mm-hmm.
The next article is the sweep. Wait, I'll hold off on the sweep. I'll do the homeless remodel and I'll do shelters first. So again, my neighbor, David Heiss. Thank you for this article. It says Denver homeless shelters will get remodels in 2024. Denver's homeless shelters will see improvements in 2024, according to the budget hearing Thursday for the Department of Housing Stability, or HOST. The 2024 budget for HOST includes $2.8 million in improvements at the shelter at 40. Oh God, they definitely need to improve that shelter. That shelter is horrible. 4600 48th Avenue. The budget includes $1.1 million in improvements at the 4330 48th Avenue shelter. The shelter at 4600, this is right up the street from me, 48th Avenue, houses more than 450 men and is operated by the Denver Rescue Mission. The shelter at 4330 48th Avenue houses 270 women and is run by Catholic Charities. The city also owns the Crossroads Shelter, horrible, operated by Salvation Army at 1901 29th Street, and it holds about 300 men. And that place is infested with bed bugs and has been for quite a long time. City Council member Paul Cashman said he, that's cash money right there. That's District 6 DU council person. He said he recently made a surprise visit to Crossroads. He said when he walked into the restaurant, he saw sinks falling out of the wall. Wow. He said the ceiling contained in what appeared to be acoustic tile with mold on it. Ooh. And it made me see rather quickly why some people would want to be on the street. Oh, well, thank you, Cash Money. He said Crossroads staff told him repairs were very imminent. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Host staff said the repairs have been postponed so as not to decrease shelter capacity during the winter months.
Right.
What did I say? Or what I saw did not merit postponement, Cashman said.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make time to stop by and have another look. Host staff members said that they are in the process of planning shelter tours for council members. Oh, here we go again. And that's the god awful Crossroads. In May, a city council committee agreed to transfer $2.9 million to pay for shelter improvements at Crossroads and the women's shelter. Council member Amanda Sawyer, or as I call her, Purple Rain, called shelters a band-aid to make sure people can come off the streets when it's cold. It's not housing. And she is correct. It is not housing. Enough money for rental assistance. Also, during the budget hearing, several members of council asked whether the council or the city had budgeted money for eviction prevention and rental assistance. According to the presentation by city staff, $8.8 million has been budgeted for temporary rental utility assistance, or TRUA, TRUA. Councilmember Flor Alvarez said much of the money goes to lawyers instead of being spent on rent. Host staff said people experiencing eviction tend to fare better when they have representation. Yes. Without it, they might lose their case. They said, yep, been through that too many times. According to host data, so far there have been 6,800 eviction filings in Denver from January to July of this year. Ooh, so that's at least 6,800 people on the street, on top of the people that were already on the street. Prior to January of this year, host staff said that the budget can be altered mid-year if it turns out more money is needed for eviction prevention and rental assistance. Council member Chantel Lewis, my councilwoman, and the one that got the black vote, said she would like the city to create a public-facing homeless dashboard that shows how people are being helped. It not only would demonstrate transparency, but also would help answer where are service gaps and are we perpetuating problems we are trying to solve, Lewis said. Getting homeless people off the street and into shelter is a top priority for Mayor Mike Johnston. He said during the hearing that Denver is now surpassed San Francisco for the American city with the highest commercial vacancy rate. People don't want to lease buildings that are surrounded by encampments, he said. Wow. Okay, what are your thoughts, Lady Shane?
like, you know, we're gonna ask for this, but we need this. So I guarantee you, I wasn't just managed to keep it clean. Okay, and they have spaghettios and like right? That's how it feels. The whole time you're getting whooped, they're back there laughing.
So what are your thoughts on investing more money into the shelters?
First, that's a joke. That's a joke. Like they got funnier and funnier as the night went on.
Do you agree with Sawyer that a shelter is not housing?
No,
You don't agree with Sawyer that a shelter is not housing?
no,
So you think a shelter is housing?
I don't know what I said. I don't want to get back to the then you really don't have no integrity if you start thinking that. But I don't really, you see me them swallowing. I think
Lady Che is like dozing off, y'all.
I think that's enough.
So I'm gonna move us along.
What's the last question?
I said, what are your thoughts on them investing more money into homeless shelters?
Yeah, no. I think they're already there. The fact of the matter is you gotta invest money in whatever you're selling now. Whatever you're doing. Because as far as that's concerned, I want to do more than half of a month. That's a half.
Mm.
And so, yeah, that would be a problem. This would be an issue. I would just say,
What are your thoughts on one to fix some shelters on 48th? I didn't see nothing about the one on Smith Road, but that 48th shelter is horrible. The men's shelter and the women's shelter are both horrible. So I guess it's a step in the I would say it's a step in the right direction, even though shelters is not housing. But they do need to fix up these current shelters that we do have. They're in horrendous condition. People are getting sick in there, dying. Winter's coming up. People are going to be up in there. And they already got all these goddamn illegal immigrants, these migrants up in there. It's going to be really crazy come wintertime. So we'll keep y'all updated on how these remodels go. The next topic is the sweep. So in addition to Unhoused Neighbor News, we have Unhoused Neighbor Sweeps. So Denver to clear homeless camp along 8th Avenue and move people to a hotel. You've heard that before. Let's let me give a breakdown on the video.
Some new video tonight as the city gears up to clear out a homeless encampment next to the governor's mansion. The city says people will have 1 week from yesterday to clear the area, and the city's working to provide services over the next week to help people living there get resources. Individuals will also have the option to move into a hotel as well.
We'll see about that. Denver has given notice that it'll clear an encampment near Governor's Park in Capitol Hill neighborhood. The area consists of affected includes 1 square block bordered by 7th and 8th Avenues and Logan and Grant Streets. A 7-day notice was posted on Tuesday, meaning the camp will be cleared out by September 26th, which is next Tuesday, or this coming Tuesday. What differentiates this from previous postings and cleanups is the huge effort of wraparound services being provided during the 7-day posting period. And more importantly, the connection of individuals living in the encampment directly to House of Services. Carissa Boggs-Blake, manager of Denver's Joint Information Centers, told Fox 31 in an interview. The JIC has been active as part of Mayor Mike Johnston's emergency declaration on homelessness. As part of the plan, his administration intends to house 1,000 unhoused people by the end of the year.
Keep in mind, family, that's under 10 people a day. Under 10 people a month.
Yeah. And he gonna turn around and house another 1,000. And then turn around and house another 1,000.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna never be a never-ending cycle because every day there's 100, 1,000 illegal immigrants moving here.
Yeah.
Individuals. One promise included in the plan was that no encampment would be cleaned out unless the city has somewhere for people to go. Well, he already reneged on that twice. Blacc said in this instance, people will move into a hotel. But what hotel? Where's the hotel? Is it going to be all along public transit? Is it going to be, close to a like a grocery store? Like these things you got to factor in, Johnston. Mayor Johnston's housing plan. Individuals will move to encampments in this area. Individuals will move from the encampments in this area into a hotel where they will continue to receive services, Blacc said. Mayor Johnston's homeless housing plan. You mean Team Paris's homeless housing plan. Johnston recently announced his budget proposal, which we already went over, and said he plans for his administration to spend nearly $49 million on his homeless housing plan. He said the total cost would be $48.6 million. Of that, $18.9 million will be used to purchase and operate Best Western. We already went over that. $5.4 million will be used for leases and operations at additional hotels. $19.6 million will go directly toward establishing micro communities. $4 million would be used to lease apartment units. $750,000 would be used for encampment response. The money would come from the existing portions of the city's budget that focus on housing issues and homelessness, as well as federal dollars. Okay, so what are your thoughts on the suite that's scheduled for Tuesday inside the governor's mansion?
How long will they before they start getting him on the nerves?
Probably like 2 weeks.
And then I get some wages, but we're not trying to make no waves. Consider what happened.
Yeah.
I'd be afraid. Well, yeah, I'd probably be afraid to shop with that person. That person will my family some money.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it looks like they're not violating the Ray Lyle versus Denver lawsuit for once.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave the encampment a whole week's notice, 7 days. And they talk about they're giving people services. So you know what that means. We have to go to the suite and investigate and make sure that people are actually getting services they're talking about.
Yeah, she does too. Man, look at her face when you find out.
Okay, one more article, y'all. We got a Denver homeless encampment deteriorating conditions prompts plan sweep. I think it's sound. Yep. Yeah, this is from the Gazette. Okay. All right. We're gonna close the show out. Thank y'all for tapping in on the Arena Uncensored MD 2020's channel and Blacks in Politics, Brother Ron's channel. And thank y'all for tuning in on our end on Front Line Blacc News, YouTube, Facebook, and my personal page. So closing thoughts, Lady J.
Stay black.
What can they
Stay
expect the
dangerous.
RBA?
And definitely give them that work. Don't let up. And just keep in mind, not everybody's coming with us. And also to just
Now look my direction. I can't see you.
just think that you're not gonna be able to torment you in nightmares either. It's gotta work both ways.
Thoughts on these plans?
As far as this the male shelters, I mean they're not like when I was in one last time when I was my kid, I mean I saw them like measuring out the outcome of what a soda was gonna do to their hips.
Mm.
You know? So I feel like they're calling like, what are you doing? Just to, pull my car.
What are your thoughts overall? Everything I just read.
It's crazy. I think that it's really crazy that, they him being the mayor now, he's just like kind of picking and choosing certain topics to really have like some sort of
Already?
some sort of uprising, It's just good for the team.
Ooh, they might be getting divorced.
Who?
Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union.
Yeah? Why?
I don't know. Maybe it's the fact they taught she wants to change the gender of her son. Crazy shit. All right. So, ladies, do you have anything else? Cause you about to fall asleep.
Mm-mm. No. I just really want to see people get housed. Honestly. Why else do we do it if not to really try to help people? I really want to see that happen. And there's days where I'm like absolutely turned off by certain situations, like especially when it comes to this shit right here, politics, just you get your foot in the door. So yeah, it hurts. It's gonna hurt.
Okay. And when can people expect the RBA?
Shit, could have got it this week. So that really, everything's on my computer. I got the show set up already. I just need to set my queue. My queue is set at the house. Probably tomorrow, most likely. Yeah, most likely tomorrow.
It'll be tomorrow if we got the Front Line Blacc News tomorrow.
Well, most likely during the day then. Why would you ask? Pick a day. I don't know what to say.
I guess this weekend, Black family. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that.
I mean, I can't do an RBA while I'm here, so. But I have had chances to do it. I really have. Just I've been going through a lot at my house. Which it's now over with, but it is very heavy. The stuff that I was going through, so it could have got done already. The queue sitting. Actually, I can do enough for like 2 shows. You know what I mean? So I've been kind of research on it and research on certain topics that are current right now. However, I can't be comfortably doing podcasting sometimes with bad juju, fucking bad energy, animosity. You know?
Yeah.
I can't do that kind of work. That kind of work is not going to be beneficial for the people that actually need the help.
Okay. Was that your closing?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So make sure y'all stay tuned for the RBA sometime this weekend. Frontline Blacc News, season 3, episode 25, part 1, tomorrow at 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And make sure y'all check us out every Tuesday and Friday for Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And every Friday at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on Blog Talk Radio. What do you always say? Stay black, stay dangerous, stay empowered. And we'll see y'all on the next episode. Peace.